You didn't fall out of love. You just stopped feeling safe. And nobody told you that emotional distance isn't the end of a relationship. It's a warning your mind sends when it's been hurt too many times. Most people avoid understanding themselves. If you're not one of them, subscribe now. Let's get into the human files. You're sitting next to someone you love, but it feels like they're miles away. You laugh together. You eat together. You sleep in the same bed, but something is missing. You can't name it. You can't explain it. You just feel alone. And the worst part, you're not sure if it's them or if it's you. That feeling is real. It's not you being dramatic. It's not you being ungrateful. When you start to feel emotionally distant from someone you once felt close to, that's not weakness, that's your nervous system protecting you. Because somewhere along the way, connection started to feel unsafe, and your mind learned to pull back before the pain could reach you again. Here's what actually happens inside emotional distance. It starts small. A conversation that didn't go the way you hoped. A moment where you needed them and they weren't there. A time you opened up and felt judged instead of held. So you pull back just a little. Not because you stopped caring, but because vulnerability stopped feeling worth the risk. Psychologists call this emotional withdrawal. It's a self-protective pattern rooted in attachment theory. When your emotional needs go unmet repeatedly, your brain rewires itself to expect disappointment, so it stops reaching out. It builds walls, not to keep the other person out, but to keep your pain in. And here's the cruel part. The more you withdraw, the more they feel it. The more they feel it, the more they pull back too. Until two people who love each other are living like strangers inside the same relationship. But what most people never realize is this. Emotional distance doesn't start between two people. It starts inside one person, silently. It's the argument you swallowed instead of having, the need you buried because you didn't want to seem needy. The truth you hid because you were afraid of the reaction. Every time you chose silence over honesty, the distance grew. Not because love disappeared, but because communication did. And the longer it goes unspoken, the more permanent it starts to feel, until one day you wake up and realize you can't even remember the last time you felt truly seen by them. That's not just distance, that's disconnection. And disconnection, left untreated, becomes permanent. Here's what nobody wants to hear. Most people think emotional distance means the relationship is broken, but that's not always true. Sometimes emotional distance means you are broken inside that relationship. Broken open by unspoken pain, by unmet needs, by love that was real but never felt safe enough to fully land. It's not that you don't love them anymore. It's that somewhere along the way, loving them started to cost you too much of yourself. And that's the truth emotional distance is trying to tell you. Not that it's over, but that something needs to change before silence becomes the only language you two speak. You don't fix emotional distance by pretending it isn't there. You fix it by being honest about when it started and why you let it grow. That's not a comfortable conversation, but it's the only one that matters, because the opposite of emotional distance isn't closeness, it's courage. If this made you see yourself differently, then you already know what you need to do. Subscribe if you want to understand yourself deeper. The next video goes more deeper. I'll see you there.